Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we're about to dive deep into one of the most chilling, heartbreaking, and downright infuriating true crime stories to rock Europe in recent years, the brutal murder of 27-year-old Cameron Thiamphonet, known to everyone who loved her as Angela, inside a luxurious £4 million Georgian townhouse just steps from London's iconic Hyde Park. This isn't just another murder story. This case exploded across headlines in the UK and beyond because it exposed the terrifying hidden risks in something we all use, apps like Airbnb that connect strangers for short-term rentals. A young woman chasing her dreams, building an empire in the property world, was savagely stabbed to death in a place that was supposed to be safe and secure. The attack was so violent that neighbors in one of London's poshest neighborhoods heard blood-curdling screams piercing the night. And the prime suspect? He lured her with deception, a massive cash promise, betrayed her trust completely, and then fled the country, sparking a year-long international manhunt. This tragedy forced millions to question, how safe are these sharing economy platforms really? And why do hosts, especially women working alone, face such hidden dangers? Let me paint the full picture for you, step by step, because this story deserves to be told in detail. We're going all the way back to who Angela really was, how she built her life in the UK, the fateful deal that led to her death, the horrific discovery, the investigation twists, and where the case stands today. Angela was a vibrant, dual Thai and Chinese Hong Kong national who moved to the UK around 2012 when she was just a teenager. She came to study graphic design at the London College of Communication, but her ambitions quickly grew bigger. Friends and family described her as kind, driven, full of laughter and life, the kind of person who lit up any room. She had this incredible entrepreneurial spirit and dreamed of becoming a major player in the hospitality world, maybe even owning her own hotels one day. Over the years, she threw herself into the London property scene, learning the ropes, investing her time and energy into high-end rentals. By 2024, Angela was managing a stunning 6-bedroom, Grade 2 listed Georgian townhouse at 6 Stanhope Place in Bayswater, an ultra-exclusive street in Westminster, literally overlooking Hyde Park and minutes from Marble Arch. This wasn't some basic flat, it was a former Ethiopian embassy-turned-luxury home, valued at around £4 million, with elegant period features, high ceilings, and that classic London charm that wealthy travelers crave. Angela had beautifully redecorated it and listed the entire property on Airbnb as a premium short-term let. She charged top rates, sometimes £600 per night for rooms, targeting high-end clients who wanted privacy, space, and a central location near landmarks like Oxford Street and Kensington Gardens. Business was thriving, and she was proud of what she'd built. But running an Airbnb isn't always glamorous. Hosts deal with platform fees that eat into profits, strict rules on approvals, and the hassle of last-minute bookings. Angela, like so many others, sometimes got frustrated with Airbnb's commissions and slow processing times. That's the crack in the armor that this case brutally exposed. Around April 5, 2024, a man contacted Angela through the Airbnb app. He expressed urgent interest in renting the entire townhouse for a full month. Then came the jaw-dropping offer. £30,000, an absurdly high amount that would have been a game-changer for any host. He claimed he was flying in privately and needed the place immediately. But here's where the massive red flags started waving. He pushed hard to bypass Airbnb completely. No official booking, no platform payment, just a direct transfer the next day to avoid fees and delays. He wanted to move in right away. Angela shared the exciting news with her long-distance boyfriend of 2 years, Chris Sang, who lived in Singapore, and her mother, Fiona Fu. To them, it sounded legitimate, the guy seemed professional, the money was life-changing, and there was no obvious reason to suspect foul play. Excited about the deal, Angela agreed to go off-platform. She let him in, trusting that this was just smart business. That trust turned deadly. On the night of April 6, Angela was actually out with friends at a house party in East London, ironically, playing a murder mystery board game. Around 4 a.m. on April 7, she suddenly left in an Uber, telling friends she had an emergency back at the property. Witnesses later said she seemed distracted in the hours before, constantly checking her phone and texting someone. Neighbors on the quiet, Millionaire Street reported hearing high-pitched, piercing screams in the early hours, screams so disturbing they echoed through the upscale neighborhood. Tragically, no one called the police right away. Maybe they thought it was a domestic argument or something else. In areas like this, people often mind their own business. By April 7th, Angela's friends and boyfriend grew seriously worried. Chris started receiving strange messages from her phone and Airbnb account that just didn't sound like her, short, broken English, excuses about changing phones. Alarmed, he and friends rushed to the townhouse on the morning of April 8th. When no one answered, they called police, who forced entry around 8:30 a.m. What they found was pure horror: Angela's body, brutally stabbed multiple times in a frenzied, overkill attack. A post-mortem confirmed sharp force trauma as the cause of death. She had suffered severe, repeated stab wounds. There was no sign of forced entry, meaning she almost certainly knew and let in her attacker. This wasn't a random burglary gone wrong. It was personal, vicious, and calculated. The Metropolitan Police launched a full-scale murder investigation immediately, led by Detective Chief Inspector Allison Foxwell, later involving others like DCI Adam Clifton. They quickly zeroed in on the tenant, the man who'd contacted her via Airbnb, gained access through deception, and was now nowhere to be found. Evidence pointed to him impersonating a legitimate renter, striking when Angela returned alone, and then fleeing the UK before anyone connected the dots. The case blew up in the media. UK outlets like the Daily Mail, Evening Standard, The Times, BBC, and The Guardian ran wall-to-wall coverage, dubbing it the Mystery Marble Arch Murder or the Hyde Park Airbnb killing. It spread across Europe because of the brutality in such an affluent area, the vulnerability of solo female hosts, and the glaring safety gaps in gig economy apps. Hosts flooded forums with their own scary stories of weird inquiries, fake profiles, and close calls. Guests started double-checking listings. Suddenly, everyone was talking about the dark side of short-term rentals. More chilling details emerged from Angela's family. Chris Sang discovered that in the hours around her death, from about 2:38 a.m. to 7:26 a.m. on April 6 to 7th, her YouTube account on the home TV had searched for and played violent rap music, tracks with lyrics about knives, guns, and violence. Music Angela would never listen to. The family believes the killer was in the house, searching and playing this while Angela was out or after the attack, a disturbing insight into his mindset. Chris also claimed he messaged the suspect, thinking it was Angela at first, and even tried to set up a meeting, but police didn't follow up aggressively enough in those crucial early hours. The Met later referred itself to the watchdog, IOPC, over its handling of initial welfare checks from friends on April 7th. For over a year, the international manhunt dragged on. Police consulted the Crown Prosecution Service about charges and extradition, believing the suspect had criminal links abroad. Airbnb issued statements expressing sadness and cooperation, but noted the attack happened off-platform, sparking criticism that they should ban or heavily restrict private deals and add mandatory warnings or ID verification. Then, in April 2025, almost exactly a year after the murder, a major breakthrough. Police called off the active manhunt because the lead suspect had been detained in another country for unrelated crimes. Sources reported he has ties to criminal activities across multiple nations. Now, UK authorities must wait for those foreign proceedings to wrap up before pushing for extradition. As of early 2026, the case remains open. No charges in the UK yet, but Angela's devastated family, including her mother Fiona Fu and boyfriend Chris Sang, are still fighting relentlessly for justice, hoping he'll finally face trial in London. This story shook Europe to its core because it hit so many raw nerves. The risks women face in male-dominated industries like property, the gig economy's push for hustle over safety, how apps put strangers in our most private spaces, and the nightmare of violence against ambitious young immigrants chasing better lives. Cities like Paris, Barcelona, and Berlin were already restricting Airbnbs over housing crises. This added urgent calls for safety reforms. Angela's life was stolen at just 27. She was building something beautiful, full of potential, kindness, and drive. Her family remembers her laughter, her dreams, her excitement about coming home for festivals. Now, they're left with unimaginable grief and endless what-ifs. What if she'd stuck to the platform? What if neighbors called sooner? What if police acted faster? This is a stark, Heartbreaking reminder for all of us, in the world of online rentals, always prioritize safety. Use official messaging and payments, verify IDs rigorously, meet in public first if possible, install security cams, share details with trusted people, and never ignore that gut feeling if something seems off. No deal is worth your life. What do you guys think? Should Airbnb and similar apps outright ban off-platform deals, mandate video ID checks, or add panic buttons and emergency host support? Have you ever had a creepy Airbnb experience as a host or guest, weird messages, fake profiles, anything that gave you chills? Drop your stories and opinions in the comments, I read them all. If this case hit you hard, smash that like button to spread awareness, subscribe for more detailed true crime deep dives. We go long on these because the victims deserve it, and hit the bell so you never miss an upload. Stay vigilant, stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.